Hello everyone, Michael Jacobs, head golf professional, the Michael Jacobs Explosive Golf School. I have a video tip for you here entitled a TeeRiffic Video Tip. Here's what we mean by that. We're going to take an old club. I got an old 6-iron here. I've taken some Scotch tape and I've taped a tee to the sweet spot of the club. So there's a tee sticking out, the bottom is pointing out, and I just took some Scotch tape and I taped the tee to it. So if I tap some balls on the toe of the club, you'll see the club points to the right. And if I tap some balls on the heel of the club, you'll see the tee points to the left. And if I tap them on center, it stays straight. So that's how you find the sweet spot, and then you put the tee right there. And what this is going to allow you to do is this is going to allow you to monitor that sweet spot and understand where your club is in relationship to the ball and relationship to the angle you're swinging on. So let's give you some ideas how this TeeRiffic tip can help you. When I'm working on my backswing, what I'd be concentrating on is seeing how that sweet spot is going to be somewhere near laying on this plane here, that line that goes through my right shoulder or just under that my right shoulder that we talked about in the Explosive Golf Show #1. Need to watch that again for a little review. You'll see how that club face will lay right on that angle, and what you'll also see is how the club face might also, for a lot of good players, might even be a little turned off that angle. But if you slice or you hit weak shots or even some pulls, eventually when you compensate, you'll see how a lot of players have that tee pointing right towards them at the back during the backswing. So they'll see how they're laying that club back and probably bending that left wrist, but laying that club back, and the tee would be facing them. So what you want to train yourself to do on this backswing is get a sense for how that tee is going to be facing that way on the backswing, or even more towards the camera and turn down if you need to fix an open club face. So here's a great way to train yourself to see how that club face is going to relate to how we're working that club during the swing. As we reach the top of the stroke, what a lot of people want to notice is how that tee is facing more to the side here, how it's laying right on that angle or slightly off that angle, and how that tee is in that direction and not in the direction towards down the fairway or towards yourself. That's the chronic shanking, slicing location of that club face. So train yourself to get that tee to face more that way at the top of the stroke and not down the fairway. As you come down in your downswing, you'll want to see how that tee at some point is going to turn itself more towards the ball. Whether it lays on that line a little longer and then turn towards the ball later, whether you're getting the sensation that it turns towards the ball right away, but you'll be able to see and train yourself to work that, what we call that impact hand location, to where you'll be able to see how that sweet spot's going to relate to that ball for the contact. You could also work on post-impact, swiveling into follow-through, probably one of the best things for it also. And how in that post-impact, if I'm doing like a standard swivel to where my club is just going to, my back of my left hand, that club face basically just going to lay on this line here, or lay on this plane, you can see how that club face will turn right towards it and lay on it. If you're doing a reverse swivel or no swivel, you'll see how that club face and that tee will be pointing straight up in the air. So it's an excellent tool. If you're doing a maximum swivel, you'll see how that tee will be pointing more towards the ground and then down the fairway or towards the camera. In a conventional type swivel, you'll see how it lays right on that plane, and then how that butt of the club will face down the fairway and the tee will face that way. So it's an excellent training tool to take some Scotch tape, take a tee, and just tape it on there. And you can even take a ball and hold it out in front of you and get a sense for exactly how that club face needs to meet that contact. A lot of people think that they gotta make an inside-out type stroke at it and really come to the inside. And if you use a tee on there, you'll just see how there is just no way that you'll hit a straight flying shot other than to put some side spin on it if you get that club coming too far from the inside or too far from the outside. So to help you learn to come in on a straighter plane line, it'll help you to monitor the club face, and probably one of the best tips there is. And it's free. A TeeRiffic Video Tip, Michael Jacobs from the Michael Jacobs Explosive Golf School. Hope you enjoyed.